It's Thursday. That means Richard Roeper is here with his weekly reviews. We got a couple movies and a show to talk about. A lot of variety, as always, yes. Richard. Let's start with a big blockbuster set up in the theaters this weekend, The Dog Stars.
Yeah, this is Ridley Scott, one of the greatest directors of all time. Blade Runner, and Alien, and Black Hawk Down, and Gladiator. But I can't recommend this one, Alex. It's a post-apocalyptic thriller, you know, where you see the first half hour, 45 minutes, pretty interesting. Jacob Elordi plays a mechanic, and it's kind of cool to see how he's very resourceful. Also, he looks like Jacob Elordi, which cracks me up, because even when he played Frankenstein's monster, he had abs and looked like he was doing a Burberry ad. And same thing here, but you kind of go with that. But then it goes into this weird act. I don't want to give too much away other than to say we go from like almost a zombie movie, although there aren't zombies, but that kind, you can see by the scenery there. And then all of a sudden we landed in The Shining, and it's like, what happened here? It's a complete, failure, and it goes back, Alex, even the greatest directors of all time, if they don't have a script, they don't have a movie. And this felt like an incomplete script that needed a few more maybe drafts, and then maybe we would have had something. But I can't recommend that people go to theaters for this one.
It's got names that have done a lot of good work, but appreciate the recommendation. Okay, very different. Coyote versus Acme. Everybody remembers kind of the story from kids. So this is an updated, what'd they do here?
Yeah, so they did a live-action animation hybrid, like Who Framed Roger Rabbit back in the day. I love this movie, Alex. You got to go see this. So the premise is actually ingenious. Wile E. Coyote, when you think about it, every time he fails to catch the Roadrunner, it's because of those Acme products.
Right.
The dynamite sticks, the anvils, all of that stuff. So he sues Acme for faulty products. He brings a lawsuit against them, and Will Forte plays the kind of Better Call Saul lawyer who finds himself defending, going after the big Acme Corporation, and John Cena's their attorney. So it sounds a little bit silly. It's also like the humans in the cartoons just acknowledge that they live in the same universe.
Right,
so when the humans get hurt, they really get hurt. But when the cartoon characters get run over by a car, they spring right back up. So it's ingenious. It's clever. It's actually got a really nice message, because when you think about Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner, one doesn't really have a purpose without the other.
That's true.
It's a buddy movie.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
And who is more maligned than Wile E. Coyote? He's been through so much.
Yeah, unfair.
The ultimate underdog.
Fake news about him a lot.
That's right. I'm glad he's getting kind of a reprieve in this movie.
Yeah.
Okay, next one's a very serious topic.
Yes.
Death of the Pastor's Wife. This is a series on Netflix.
Three-part documentary, Alex. It is worth it, but as we talk about these documentaries, for a lot of people, the material can be triggering and sensitive. So we want to say off the bat that it's about a tragedy. And these Netflix docuseries almost always start with that 911 call. And you just think, we're going to go back now, and the frustration we feel because more could have been done. To say Micah Miller, she was married to a pastor, and I don't want to play spoiler alert with real life. She took her own life, but it's how much did her husband allegedly manipulate her into that moment, and the evidence. He's actually been indicted for cyber stalking and other crimes. So it takes you through all that, and you see that people sometimes turn to churches and they get the greatest satisfaction and spirituality and faith in the world, and sometimes it goes the other way because the pastor has so much control over his flock. So this is one of those where unfortunately it goes sideways, but very well done. Same documentary makers did the Gabby Petito and the Murdaugh murders, so they have a good track record of being journalistically responsible.
In that true crime atmosphere. All right. Richard, thank you. And don't miss Roper's Take every Thursday right here at 4 o'clock.